at this point, as a Florida fan, you got to be asking yourself, how much more of this can I take? Because losing 33-20 to Texas A&M when they're starting somebody brand new against you and the future is supposed to be DJ Lagway that's not what you drew up, man. That's not how this is supposed to go. And on a day when it felt like Florida could steal a march on Florida State by just simply beating Texas A&M while Florida State lost to Memphis, putting money in the bag, $1.3 million. No, Florida's going to lose its SEC season opener at home, which means that Florida has now given up at least 33 points to both of the Power 4 conference opponents that they have played. And because they have Florida State and Central Florida on the menu this year, they could go 0 for 3 as the flagship university in the state of Florida. And the flagship is a political designation. It is one that is designed by the state. It is not one that I just make up. Private schools, by definition, cannot be flagship universities for public organizations like, say, the state of Florida. That said, it ain't Florida State. It ain't FAMU. It ain't Central Florida. It's the University of Florida in Gainesville. And in this game, where we kept seeing both Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway, and we saw a weather delay and all those things, I saw Graham Mertz get to throw more passes than DJ Lagway, right? But not that many more. He went 12 of 15, proving he could operate the offense, while DJ Lagway didn't really see it. 6 of 13, 54 yards versus 12 of 15 for 195 and a TD. Both of them threw picks, but DJ threw 2 of those. And you couldn't get anything going in the run game at all. It felt like you were going to have something maybe with Elijah Badger, but, you know, as much as I want to be happy about that for you, Florida, it's 5 for 94, and you got DK out there absolutely putting on a show, 6 for 91. That's about all it is. Because really, if you're watching that game, it ain't Florida's offense that you were really focused on. Yes, you would have loved to see DJ Lagway do what he did against Sanford, which is go for 456 and 3 TDs in a freshman record. But it's your defense that really needs to start answering the bell on this, and that is the reason why we are hearing people tell us things like, how much longer for Billy Napier? Because I don't know that Florida is in a position to where they would want to fire Billy Napier, given what they got left on this schedule. Like, it's nasty. And you are one of the tougher opponents on the schedule for A&M this year, because quiet as it is kept, A&M's got a nice, clean road to what could potentially be an unlikely appearance in the SEC championship game in Mike Elko's year 1. So I'm looking at this, and you got Bowling Green, who is not easy, but certainly should not be difficult. Arkansas, who, again, is not easy, but right now doesn't seem to be difficult. Missouri, who I'm not sure what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they went down 14-3 to Boston College and then turned it up, scored 24 straight points in a win, but it's 27-21 to Boston College. Still not sure what to do with them because I'm not sure how good Boston College is. I'm certainly not sure how good Missouri is. Then you get the bye. Mississippi State, they might put money in the bag against Toledo later tonight. We'll see, but they're just not good. LSU, they're capable of giving you this win because they have shown they're going to give it up defensively. Like, that defense is absolutely soft, but it ain't as soft as what Florida has been the last 2 games against Power 4 conference opponents. And then you got South Carolina, who I think is hard, but only when Lenore Sellers is hard. And then New Mexico State, who you ought to beat. Auburn ain't no good. And then Texas. So what I'm saying is, it's not hard for me to see that loss you got against Notre Dame be the only loss that you might see until you perhaps get to Missouri, maybe get to LSU or South Carolina. I don't think you're going to drop both of those. And then Auburn. So it's not hard to get to 9 wins right now, and especially if you believe in Marcel Reed. And I don't know about you, but Marcel Reed looking like he not likely to give Connor Wigman his job back, because that boy not only could operate the offense, he could make it happen in the run game. And this is one of the things that excites us the most. And I've seen this all over the SEC so far. When Jackson Arnold is on, which has not been a whole lot, he's running the football, right? When Arch Manning comes in relief of Quinn Ewers, he's running the football. Marcel Reed can run the football in a way that Connor Wigman cannot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look around, Jalen Milroe, he can run the football in a way that many cannot. Carson Beck is really outside of Brady Cook, Garrett Nussmeier. Those are your 3 pocket passers that I really trust. Taylor Green, running the football. You know, early in the season, we will also see defenses be way ahead of offenses because the offense has still got to take time to gel. and the defenses really get to rock and fire. That is the reason to worry if you're a Florida fan, is your defense has not been ahead of anybody's offense. I mean, Sanford doesn't count here, right? You are playing from behind, and Billy Napier doesn't run an offense that needs to that can feature from behind. They need to be able to run the football. They need to be able to control the clock. And if you can't get off the field on third down, you are going to be in a very bad way most of the season here, man. I mean, I'm looking at this. Give up 41 to Miami. You give up 33 to Texas A&M. We'll see what you give up to Mississippi State. But you got some things to figure out here because you were held scoreless at home to open the first half, man. And I'm talking about it was not pretty. 3 turnovers, 2 of 9 on third down. There's 301 total yards of offense. It feels like Billy Napier and Mike Norvell are going to make it to the end of the season, but whoever wins that game might be the one that gets to keep his job and the other one doesn't. I don't like talking about people losing their jobs. It sucks because I don't want anybody to talk about losing my job. I also don't get paid tens of millions of dollars to do this job. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with the great responsibility. What's Spider-Man? Yeah, Spider-Man. That's the one. Great responsibility. You know, great power comes great responsibility. I don't really ride with Spider-Man like that. He ain't really my guy. I take that back. I ride with Miles Morales, but Miles Morales ain't said something so asinine and stupid as, you know, tautological. With great power comes great responsibility. But apparently that's what it is when you were the head coach of Florida or any one of these universities. Because I'd be looking at this going, no, with great power comes I got to win, and I don't know why I'm losing. That's like, to be a superhero means that you are going to win. That's what that means. It takes a Thanos-sized behind kicking for you to get beat down. A&M ain't Thanos. That's my point here. That's not Thanos. Thanos is in Georgia, right? They in Lexington right now giving Kentucky the what for and how now. That ain't A&M. A&M lost to a Notre Dame team that lost to directional Illinois. You are the State University of Florida. You are the Gators. You should be feared, but people showing up to your house and they chomping on you. You got Miami showing up to say y'all not loud enough. And you know what? Hell, if you going to start a quarterback for the first time at your program, you're going to do it against Florida. Cam Ward, he showed up, 385, program debut. Marcel Reed showed up, went to work on Florida. I'm telling y'all, man, they just handing them out there. If you want to start your brand new quarterback, bring him to Florida. Napier going to put you on, dog. That's how it feels right now. Giving up 33 in this loss in this way is only going to make you feel bad as a Florida fan. Now, I think you're going to win a few games that you shouldn't, right? Because that's how football goes. I just can't tell you what they are. I mean, look, Mississippi State, Central Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky. Ordinarily, I should say everybody but Tennessee you should beat, but I'm not sure about that right now, man. I don't think Florida fans are either. And not for nothing, but it would have been fun if Florida was able to run through this gargantuan schedule. But on the back end, you're going to come off a week 9 bye, and you got Georgia, Texas, LSU, Mississippi, Florida State. That's 4 losses and maybe a win. Maybe. Depending on whether or not we can find out if Mike Norvell is going to figure out DJ Uiagalelei, but it doesn't feel like that's going to happen either. But do you have a better opportunity to figure out DJ Uiagalelei at Florida State or the quarterback situation at Florida? Because the only quarterback situation that feels worse than the one they got at Florida right now is the one at Michigan. And Michigan lost to Texas, but it's 2-1. You know what I'm saying? They beat everybody that they should. There is nobody that you should beat on the schedule right now, except Mississippi State. Maybe Central Florida, but I'm not quite sure. And Florida State, toss up. It feels like a fair fight right now. If you are a Florida fan and you think that I'm on one, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm really trying to speak to what I see and what I know you must feel as a Florida fan. You didn't sign up for this. That's not why you picked the University of Florida to be your football team. Maybe you were born into it, but for the most part, you making your own decisions. You know what I'm saying? You wear that blue and that orange, and you got to go to work tomorrow. You got to go to church tomorrow. And you know what? You and Florida State, at least y'all going to be sad together. If you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Closing in on 107,000 subscribers here. We do live shows on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means we're going to do one here in a little bit. We do them on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's me. We're talking. We're having a good time. I hope to see you then. Doses.